Welcome back to Beyond Two Souls, and now we're watching the alternative endings.
It's time for our finale of
Hopefully
finales.
we'll never have to touch this.
Not so much, Joe, but remember, we still have the extras part after this.
Indeed.
Oh. I'm guessing we'll have to touch this again.
Yes. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you might notice how my voice sounds way more clear than in all of the other parts. That's because I got myself a new mic.
We're from the future, you see. You see, at this
Exactly.
point in time, we've covered
Hold
actually
on,
a lot.
hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe. If we're gonna do this, if we're gonna do that joke, then we have to do it properly.
Okay.
I am Pedronia, and I'm my future self, and I'm much more economical and much more useful.
And I'm Jova Hexion. I'm an ace attorney from the future.
There's nothing left.
Sure,
Anyway,
you got something?
yeah, this is what this.
Nothing but death, chaos, and destruction.
No.
So in the last part we saw the Beyond ending, and this is what happens if you let yourself be killed by those zombies. Basically, you get sent to hell, I guess.
Billions of fragmented souls wander
Jodi, please, we get it. Apparently the infraworld has fused with the
Pretentious
real
dialogue.
to the world
Pretentious.
I was born into.
My
This is
God, I
almost
can
as
just replace. I can replace all of this dialogue in this ending with just pretentiousness, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Try to
Yeah.
remember each second.
So Jodi went to hell.
Apparently so did the whole world. Apparently this
Even though
is
the
our world
even
now,
though
they're all merged.
Even though the Beyond ending specifically told us that there was no God, no devil, no heaven, nor hell. So what the fuck?
Float along the cold wave.
Contrive?
I hunger for
It's weird. Apparently it looks like it's underwater. So, apparently this is what would happen if our world were merged with the afterlife.
No, this took place in Spy Kids Free.
alone for
It
eternity.
did?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care again. Just end.
Oh, are you talking about the lava that was cold?
Yes.
Okay, so in the last part we picked the Beyond ending, so let's pick the ending this time.
You know, there's very few Beyond endings when you think about it.
There's only one Beyond ending.
Well, yeah.
There's just different, well, quote unquote, different.
No. When it comes to the only differences when it comes to the Beyond endings is that it depends on how many people died or survived throughout the game.
Well,
Like
this would probably be a good point to bring up one glaring awful thing. You see, when people try to defend this game, they often use the excuse that there's like 25 different endings. Now,
the problem is
prepare.
the problem is that when they say that they don't mean actual
What the heck
different
face is she
endings.
making?
I don't know. I guess that one Paige was just trying to run away from this game and she just couldn't.
But yeah, going back to the
Anyway.
objection we were making, but yeah, there's technically not 25 different endings. In fact, at most there's like, there's
Like
six.
7.
6 or 7.
Okay. There's 5 life endings, if I remember correctly. There's the ending of Hell. There's the Beyond ending, which is 7. Yeah, pretty much 7 endings.
But there's even a bigger objection to be made. The fact that these are really different endings because... Folks, I hate to break it to you, but the ending technically always stays the same no matter what your supposed ending is.
They just tweaked the dialogue slightly. That's all there is to it.
Oh,
not
it gets
just the
even worse
dialogue,
than
it's
that,
just
though. You'll see what we mean.
Depends on that. Like for example, remember look how Ryan still has his second eye right here.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's not what I was talking about. Don't worry, audience. You'll see what I'm referring to when we get to
No,
it.
actually, it does. A lot of people, like for example, stuff like Ryan's eye being gone. That's like those kind of visual small things that
Oh, no. I was talking about something...
people tend to. It's that kind of differences. Like for example, in the Beyond ending,
yeah.
if Ryan dies, we won't see him in the Beyond ending. But if he survives, we will see him crying a tear because Jodi's dead and shit
But the
like that.
dialogue doesn't even really change when you think about it. It's just more visual.
And pretentious nonsense.
But yeah. But that...
That David Cage somehow thinks is deep.
But like
Yep.
I said, the contradiction is going to get even bigger when we actually see what is truly the ending of this ending. I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
Best not spoil it for the audience.
And now we're here.
Hello, we're suddenly in The Last of Us. No, seriously, this looks like it was pulled from a scene of Last of Us. Cabin, lakeside, and everything.
Didn't this come out before?
Actually came out like 3 months after.
Oh yeah! Oh sure, I wish you'd been around during, like, one of the climax scenes of Last of Us. We actually ran into a caricature who we dubbed David Cage.
My memories are all
He did.
Yeah.
Horribly, but
self-destructive.
Ellie completely murdered him with a
think it was a
yeah,
pipe.
machete.
I no longer know.
Oh,
No,
yeah, the
machete.
machete too. But didn't you also bash... Oh, no, that didn't kill him. Right.
Anyway, allow me to explain something. Here's what happened.
Aw, Jodi's sad.
It's like watching the same film looping over and over. Are you sure you're talking about your illness or the game?
Are you sure you're not talking about the
Anyway.
Sadness trilogy in general?
So I've been writing night and day.
So the thing is, Jodi now, for some moronic reason, is losing her memories because, as the game puts it, I spent way too much time on the other side.
Wait, she's
so apparently
losing her memories? I thought this was supposed to be her getting them back, but instead she's been losing them?
So yeah, remember that opening monologue of the game where she says that, it's all based up in my head. I might as well try to remember things. So the whole that was pretty much what she meant. Like, she's losing her memories and she's remembering all these things because of spending too much time on the other side.
The funny thing is that 2 of the endings won't even give you this explanation.
And that's David Cage's way of trying to explain why the plot is out of order, even though that still doesn't explain anything. It's just I'm gonna tell the story this
Why
order
even make
because
a
I want to.
Why even make a story element for that? Just have it so that it's out of order, like what Quentin Tarantino does. I don't think he often tries
Memento. Like, have you seen Memento, Jova?
I believe I have, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I remember the overall thing about how the plot is purposely out of order. But the reason it worked in that is that they didn't really try to shoehorn in a plot element at the last second to explain it.
Memento tells its story backwards, but the big difference is that Memento was about a man with anterograde amnesia. What is that? Basically, he can't make new memories. Like, every time he loses concentration, he immediately goes back to the memories he had before becoming handicapped in that regard. So basically, the whole backwards narrative thing puts us in the mind of the character. We know just as much as he does. We're more and more confused the more the movie goes on. But then when we reach the ending, everything becomes clear. In this, it's just out of order shit.
Oh, sure I am.
And by the way, guys, guess you know how forgot how much the entire game Jodi has been talking about how much she doesn't want Aiden around so that she could have a normal life.
Hooray, Cole's alive. Oh, let me guess, she misses Aiden.
So now she misses Aiden because...
Yay, I called it!
Okay, David, could you please get your plot points straight from chapter to chapter?
You know what? I'd see what he was trying to do if he actually pulled it off right. He's trying to do the cliche of, the lifelong partner who you grow to resent, but then when they're actually gone, you miss them. Except that doesn't really work because Jodi wasn't even really in that state of hating Aiden the last we saw him.
Not to mention that's what like one of the most common soap opera cliches.
And when you think about it, because going by part 11, she was fine with Aiden. Heck, if anything, Aiden saved their butts and she acknowledged it. So she wasn't really hating on him by that. So
here it is. 1, 2. Actually, no. There's only 4 live endings. So technically 6 endings.
And yet by part 12, Aiden disappears, so we have no input. So that's why this development doesn't make any sense.
See ya, Ryan.
I couldn't see my future with him.
Get the fuck out.
We've been through too many difficult times together.
You mean like every single time?
Times I want to forget. He said he understood.
Sorry, David, I don't love you.
Tempted to make an Indigo Prophecy joke, but that would probably spoil our Indigo Prophecy playthrough.
Well, actually, the playthrough is already entirely uploaded. So.
Well, yeah, but remember, we also have to make public certain other commentaries.
Jodi, you've been bitching about Ryan throughout the whole thing. Now you're saying you have some feelings for him?
So even when she tells him that their future can't work, she still harbors feelings for him. Gee, I wonder who the developer wants us to be with.
I wanted it for so long, but I finally realized
It's weird. It's almost like he's David
So this is
Cage's
the
answer
Alone
to
life
the
ending.
character
In the Alone life ending, Jodi becomes a loner who travels the world, helping people who are having problems with ghosts.
So she basically becomes...
So basically, we're
She's
about to
basically
enter.
a spirit medium.
So
Yeah.
basically, we're about to. So basically,
Oh,
we're
those
about to
people
enter.
popped in and out. Oh wait, no, I guess they were ghosts.
So basically, this scenario. So basically, this ending is basically teasing us with a scenario for a much better game.
Yeah, when you think about it, this would have been so much more awesome if Jodi actually used her Hey, wait a minute! If Jodi was the so-called hero, heroine, and protagonist, why wasn't she trying to use her powers for good at all? When you think about it, all she did was care about herself, literally. I mean, I can understand maybe some situations, except when you think about it, we're supposed to actually think of her as a true-out selfless hero, yet she only seems to use her powers for certain cases, as opposed to, generally helping people like she is here. And no, they can't use the, someone would turn her into the government and they would sell her out trick, because it has clearly been shown that plenty of characters would not do that. Heck, plenty of the characters don't even know about her governmental
This seems
background.
like a reference.
Huh?
I'm sorry. What?
I'm saying this seems like a bit of a reference.
To what?
I can't think of the name of it.
Still here.
Anyway.
And
Guess what?
so much for that turmoil of missing Aiden, because he's still here. They're not even
Cop out.
subtle about it.
It's like, what was the point of the whole? Turns out Aiden disappeared from that. Look!
Here we go, and this is what I was talking about. No matter what ending you pick, no matter what choice you do, no matter what you say or where you go, you will always get this godforsaken ending, which is a shameless sequel hook, which seems to suggest that there will be a sequel, which seems to suggest that no matter what you did, the government was still stupid enough to make a fourth condenser, and it blew up so spectacularly that the world is
Jova,
doomed.
I wish I was playing.
in your voice suggest that you actually wanted a sequel.
Well,
You sound very disappointed.
well,
listen
I
to
actually
that
kind of would
dialogue.
like a sequel because, for one thing, David Cage is kind of hypocritic with, because, if he's saying that, he's made no words about having a planned sequel. If he makes a sequel, that would suggest that he went against his own philosophies of not making unplanned sequels. There doesn't, and yet, if this isn't a sequel, then, my God, is it a horrible ending? It's like if you're gonna have a bad ending like that, we need to actually see how it came to be like this. You can't just have the bad stuff go off screen and then all of a sudden say, sorry, you thought you got your good ending, but no, it's really still a bad ending.
He said he understood.
I know.
So,
Anyway,
yeah. I would
so
actually
Jodi
like-
was all talking about. I love how Jodi's talking about, once Pandora's box is open, it can never be closed again. Yeah, I
God,
kind of wish I was.
Pandora's box.
I kind of wish I was playing Pandora's box right now.
When I was alone.
The Layton game, I mean.
When
Yes.
all I could think of
Shoot,
was
I may have just wasted our biggest objection of the game so far by already going into the rant about that final ending.
Usually, when it comes to the life endings, I usually pick this one because the homeless people were by far the most developed characters in the game. So
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Wasn't it like in the finale,
by the way, I love how every single time that Joba starts to think more about Jodi as a character, he every time he stops to think about her, he hates her more for it.
Well, I mean, I'm actually finding stuff more and more wrong with her because when you think about it, that ending showed just how much of a selfish figure she was. And look, maybe if the story recognized that she was being selfish and hypocritic, I could have worked.
Wait. We're about to get ourselves some. How about some contrivance?
there's something about
Why does this remind me of the ending of Justice League Act of God?
Uncanny Valley. Ugh.
Yeah, this does remind me of the ending of Justice League Act of God when you think about it. She thinks that she's lost Aiden.
We both know.
Yet,
Yeah.
we're later going
So
to see
yeah,
that.
guys.
Well,
guess
as we
what?
saw in...
Guess what? Remember how remember how Jodi delivered Zoe? Well, turns out because Jodi was the one who delivered her, she also has powers. So
Just
she's gonna
like
help
Justice
her.
League Act of God.
Apparently, being a spirit medium is contagious.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, and now she's gonna. Yeah, the only one who can save the world is a little girl. Why? What?
I have to prepare.
Here's an idea, Jodi. Why don't you do it?
Okay. This whole thing about the new apocalypse and the whole only Zoe can save her. Like, where the fuck did this even come from? What's the point of putting this at the ending?
This is also another reason why I'm sort of
This
pissed
comes
about
the
there
fuck
not
out
being
of
a
nowhere.
sequel. Because if you're going to have something like this that doesn't explain it, you better dang well have a sequel plan that actually will explain what's going on.
So obvious.
Oh, and by the way, Square, if you're listening, if you do such, don't have stuff that needs to be explained to be DLC.
I just need the silence around.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is in case you're wondering what Jova means. Basically, this is we've recently started commentating on Final Fantasy 14, and Jova kind of already hates that game just from one part
It's
alone.
fun to commentate on, but God,
He's
does
not
it look
alone,
like
I
a
don't
bad
like it
game.
either.
Difficult times together.
Oh, trust me, Jova. You've only seen a peak.
Which makes
you
me
only
wonder,
peaked
since
at
Final
There might
Fantasy
be no
13...
turn-based combat in it, but the fighting style still sucks.
Which reminds me, since Final Fantasy 13 seems so much like a David Cage game, is it going to get to the point where we have to bring in the whole Ace Attorney / David Cage gimmick thing?
Oh, trust me. There's going to be plenty of moments for that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll get your. Oh, so yeah. In this one, we're going back to the farm.
So I forget, is there anything else in this part that I can object to? Because I think I may have wasted the big one on that, that ending that's shared.
Oh, but the only way to properly examine and dissect every single thing about this game is to have like 100-hour playthrough. So
Yeah, I'm
let's
just wishing I'd save that big one for the end of the part, but, well. Can't be perfect. How did she get her motorcycle back?
So yeah, she's now with this guy, even though she's only been with him like 2 days or something.
You know what's weird? I hate to say it, but aside from Cole, Ryan is actually the best character in this game when you think about it. Yeah, he's an a-hole, and God is his development clumsy, but he actually gets
he's the best
developed.
character. The reason he's the best character is because he's a Mary Sue. He's David Cage.
No. I actually, okay, I will admit that he definitely seems to be a stand-in for David Cage, but I'll actually admit I don't find him to be really a Mary Sue so much. Because, when you think about it, Jodi is really the only one who constantly fantasizes about him. Not everyone in the story. Now, I say everyone in the story, saying,
No,
oh,
but that's
Ryan...
the thing, Jova. To David Cage, Ellen Page is all that matters. He doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, it's
He has a scrapbook of
I know,
Ellen.
I'm just saying, it's
I'm still convinced. I'm still absolutely convinced that when Ellen Page announced publicly that she was a lesbian, David Cage kind of died inside.
Am I the only one who kind of found her revealed to be a bit, I don't know, forced? I don't know. Maybe it was Maybe that's the wrong...
it's like, I don't
Well,
want to
she
tell them
wasn't-
just yet, but I have to tell them now because that David Cage guy won't leave me alone.
Probably.
I mean,
oh my god.
I mean, by
oh my
all
god, you
means,
just
I'm
reminded
okay
me.
with gay people.
Remember,
I mean, I have no problems.
remember. I remember. Hold on, Jova. There's an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer, with his manly charm, manages to bring a woman from lesbianism and become an heterosexual. And George
Really?
and at the same time that this is happening, George is noticed that an ex-girlfriend of his is a lesbian now. So he's all like, I wonder if she became a lesbian because of the bad experience she had with me and stuff like that. So when we eventually, basically, Kramer steals George's ex-girlfriend's new girlfriend. So and George even says one of the most brilliant lines in Seinfeld history. Amazing. I bring them to lesbianism. He brings them back.
But yeah.
So my guess is David Cage drove Ellen Page to lesbianism. That's my theory.
I know. I mean, I have nothing against gay people, but I mean, I go, Ellen. I don't know.
I'm not mocking gay people. I'm just saying
I
the
get
whole
that.
Seinfeld thing and Ellen Page and
I get that.
David Cage thing is funny.
I get.
Hey, I'm gay and I think it's funny.
I get that you're
I
saying
think
that.
everything Family Guy says is funny.
I have nothing against gay. I
I have nothing against. I get that. I get that. I'm just saying, it's like, well, when Ellen Page revealed it, it seemed a bit like. I hate to say it, but it sounded like it was a bit done for.
Did she reveal that? Did she reveal that at like a conference about homosexuality or something like that? I think she was like. I think that was the point. You know, she wanted to.
Maybe
be
she was
like
shy,
a
I guess, because
She-
when you're in the
she-
public
she was
eye,
being-
it's not the easiest thing to do.
I'm pretty sure. I think again. It's been a while, so I don't remember. But I think it was at a special conference about the rights of homosexual people. So she went there, and she wanted to be an inspiration to people. So I think it's.
I don't know. Something about it felt weird, but I should probably focus more on the bad game at hand.
It's like I said, it's probably down to David Cage.
You know, I wouldn't be
So,
surprised.
yeah,
And
here's-
speaking
yeah,
of
so, yeah,
which, this is the ending
here's-
where
David
Jodi.
Cage wants us to. This is the ending David Cage wants us to pick.
the sad thing is that I actually find this the best ending out of all of them because it's actually done with the only few characters that have actually had good development. Well, okay, this aside from the one where she hooks up with the homeless people.
We traveled.
The yeah.
I had to learn
I had to learn to love again.
What?
to put my
Lady,
trust
you
in
lost your
people,
memory, not your emotions.
fighting and running away.
Oh my
she's the-
god,
she- she's a
douchebag.
character. She's
I
a
noticed the
character.
douchebag guitar on the boat.
She's a character in a David
Wait,
Cage
I
game.
just realized something.
Jova. She has no emotions.
I just realized something.
Talk about it again.
She lost her
she only
memory.
pretends to have emotions.
So late. She lost her
It all
memory.
never happened.
Has to fall in love all over again. Oh my god, this is time and eternity.
As if the other side didn't exist.
Oh my god.
Wow. Final Fantasy 13, time and eternity. Are all bad games just gonna keep making a cameo in our Beyond Two Souls commentary?
Yes. You can never escape it, Jova.
At least
No ma-
we all know where all the horrible things are so we can avoid them.
Yeah, it's kind of like you see, Shiroi. Back when we were doing our Last of Us playthrough, and you know the guy who's the villain of the game, who's called David, trapped Ellie, who
In a
looks like
cage.
Ellen Page, in a cage. So of course we had to do some David Cage jokes, and of course, and those was all like, oh my god, what is David Cage doing here? And of course, and I was all like, we just can't escape him. We just can't escape him.
I remember I remember how I cracked the first joke. Guys, you know how we're fighting against a guy called David who's going after Ellie, which is short for Ellen, and she's in a cage.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
I wonder if that was considering Neil Druckmann's dark sense of humor. I wonder if that scene was Neil Druckmann's subtle commentary about how David Cage has Ellen Page trapped into a shitty game.
Considering the controversy Ellen Page had with Last of Us, I actually wouldn't be surprised about that.
The reason I'm not just that, but the reason I'm mostly not surprised about it is because I know Neil Druckmann and he's a very there we go, still
So
here.
he'll make social commentary also about real people often as well. Well, you know.
Well, there was a bit of that in Uncharted 3, so.
Hey guys, don't you wish you could be playing one of those Far Cry games?
Actually, that's another thing. I wish I was kind of playing Uncharted 3 right now, rather than just playing this game.
We're on a beach. Hey, we're on a deserted island. Far Cry.
Okay, we get it. Cut.
Fade to black? This is a movie after all. Fade to black.
Cut.
Please? There we go.
Oh look,
Oh
it's
my
this
God.
ending again.
This shit again.
Things at night.
Like
We've
I said,
seen
when you
this.
think about it, there's technically only one real ending. Because unless there's a sequel, it'll
All
pretty much
endings
mean
lead to this. Even if you pick the Beyond ending, which is Ellen being dead, the little girl Zoe, she still has this scene alone. So yeah, like Jova said, when you actually think about it, there's only really one ending.
Yeah, because unless there's a sequel which shows that something or someone is still alive from her life, this is all we've got for the ending.
It's what is about to happen.
I mean, really? Really, David? Of all the things to do, you pretty much go for the lowest common denominator and make it clearly obvious our choices didn't matter.
Indeed.
Ah, well.
So, oh well, now we've only got the extras part left.
Well, we'll get to that in some point in our lives, but for now, it's time to put another close on the David Cage part.
Indeed. See
We'll
you
see
then.
you in the extras video.